Hey guys, I'm super excited to be able to teach you today. I'm very excited about learning about this lesson about World War II. I know I've said it 100 times probably by now, but I really enjoy the fact that I get to teach you such an important part of history. So we're going to just dive right in. What you'll be doing is you'll be filling out the guided notes based on this video. After you fill out those guided notes, make sure you make some other notes also, because you are going to, in just a minute, have to take what you've learned out of this video and teach it to your classmates who are watching another video. This video is about the subject of the Axis powers and how their government structure was created. I think everybody loves some money. I sure do. Dollars are nice, right? Everybody loves a dollar, right? So here's what I want you to imagine, okay? Right here. What if this dollar was worthless? So what you have to understand is, in this time leading up to World War II, we have economic problems that I'm sure Miss Archer talked about in her lesson from Friday. These economic problems are so bad that people are looking for some way to fix things. And their response is fascism. We have a lot of fascism that's going to grow throughout the world. So what I need you to do is I need to make sure you pause this video at certain points to fill out the document. So on the first blank, you need to write Axis powers. Axis. Pause it. Write it down, make sure everyone's got it written down, and then start the video again. Under that is fascism, okay? Fascism is a political group that supports a certain race and silences opposition. So the Japanese government did this, and they did this very well. They would create a structure of government called an aristocratic oligarchy. That's a big word, big two words. Actually, not one, two. It's ruled by a certain group, okay? This certain group was high political leaders inside of the Japanese government. At the very top of this was Emperor Hirohito. Now, Emperor Hirohito is a very interesting individual because he is someone who is going to be a leader prior to World War II. And then is going to stay in his position following the war. This is tremendously interesting and not seen anywhere else, because Emperor Hirohito, we're not sure how much involvement he had in the war. So what happens is, after the war, we're so concerned that if we kill Emperor Hirohito, like we do a lot of his generals and things like that, that's going to lead to an uprising in Japan, and that's certainly not what we want to have happen. We'll talk about why later, but that is going to be extremely important to our lesson entering the Cold War. So, in that next blank, you need Emperor Hirohito. Below him, you have Prime Minister Hideki Tojo. Okay? You can just write Tojo. It's going to show up right here. Okay? Hideki Tojo is a member of the Japanese Imperial Rule Assistance Association Party. Yep, rolls right off the tongue. This is a fancy name for a political party which centralized around the fact that it was made up of generals. Okay? These generals were active duty generals. So they would have involvement in the military while being involved in the government. This is going to be central to our teaching some of our questions, so make sure you're paying attention. These guys would have active duty and would have the opportunity to not only affect the political sphere, but also the military sphere on a very microscopic level. What I'm saying is, we need to make sure we see who's around us, okay? The group that we've created matters. And we'll talk about that a little later, but I want to make sure you understand that thought. So, you need to make sure in those spots you have Prime Minister Tojo, And then you need to make sure that you have the Japanese Imperial Rule Assistance Association Party. And make sure you say that it was made of soldiers. Now, jumping down to the German side of the lesson today, we have Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler is going to be your first blank, and he is the Fuhrer. What he does is he is the head over everything. So everything happening inside of Nazi Germany, pretty much Adolf Hitler is trying to be in control of. There's a problem there, all right? The problem is, one man can't do it all. To help with this, Adolf Hitler establishes different heads of different departments. So he will have Joseph Goebbels, and he's going to be the head of propaganda. He's going to be the one who's going to inundate the people and the population into this idea of fascism. He's going to make sure that they understand that Hitler's goal is to create an Aryan race which will help Germany be able to grow and to become a country like the world has never seen. They do a very good job of this, and some of the impressions that the Nazis have left are still with us in our culture today, which is terrifying and awful. Below him, we have some people like Heinrich Himmler. Okay, his name will pop up on the screen so you can spell it. And he is the head of the SS. The SS are going to be the police of the Nazis. Now, it is important to understand that this was the arm that controlled the population. If there was any opposition or anyone who needed to be controlled, this is where they would be controlled. A lot of the SS would be involved in the Holocaust. They would find Jews who were in prominent positions and take them out to not only cleanse their race, but to also take their goods to use in the Nazi party. Very, very awful stuff. The Nazis were able to declare authoritarian rule. Authoritarian rule is a strict form of government that requires individuals to obey and have very little personal freedoms. What you need to understand about Germany as well as Japan is that they both have military leaders who are going to be in very high positions. So not only are they going to be in the political sphere, they're also going to be in the actual military fighting of World War II. This is going to become very interesting and very purposeful to our conversation. So make sure you note that down, and we'll talk about a little bit why, and I'll help you with what thoughts we need to look at whenever we're looking at both the Axis powers and the Allied powers. Thank you very much. Make sure if you need to go back and watch any of the videos so that you make sure you've written everything down. If you have any questions, please let me know.